Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, over the last couple of days, we saw Regis Prograis come out and talk about supposedly a loss that Devin Haney had in Mexico that he paid to get scrubbed. And then yesterday we saw our dear friend of the show, family member of yours, Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero, he was on Fight Hype and he spoke a little bit about this as well. So let's dig into this, Jay. Here's where I question this. Like, this is so let's say Devin Haney did get his record scrubbed. So he got a loss in Mexico when he was, 14, 15, 16, whatever. What the hell does that have to do with December 9th when Regis Prograis gets into the ring with Devin Haney? Like, if he's 30-0 or 29-1, what is it going to do for you, Regis? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because the Devin Haney who we see in front of you, or the Devin Haney that we see today and will be in front of you on December 9th, it doesn't change whether or not he is 29-1 or 30-0. So I don't know if this is a situation where Regis is simply trying to promote the fight. But here's the issue when you start trying to discredit a fighter before you actually get into the ring with him, similar to Keyshawn Davis and Albright. When you discredit that fighter, pretending as though that fighter is manufactured, not what we believe he is, so forth and so on, and you go into the ring and you possibly lose to that fighter or it's a close fight, then what does that say about you? Then how are you describing yourself? You seem to be then manufactured if you struggle with that fighter. So I don't believe in the discrediting of a fighter. You can say all you want to that I'm gonna take him apart. I'm gonna take him apart. I'm gonna pick him apart. He's not on my listen. He's a great fighter, but I'm just on a different level. And there's levels to this. You're bigging up your opponent, and at the same time, you're bigging up yourself. That's the way to properly do it. But when you try to discredit a fighter, and he's been saying on multiple occasions that Devin Haney is manufactured, he didn't get it out of the mud. How did Devin not get it out of the mud? He started when he was when he was professional. He wasn't even 18 yet. That's the reason why he was down in Mexico fighting. So if that's not getting it out of the mud, going down to Mexico so you can go ahead and start your professional career and start to get the development that you need. If that's not getting it out of the mud, what is? If you went over to Australia to fight an opponent where basically everything was stacked against you, you didn't get the lion's share of the money. You were forced into a rematch. You were forced into a 3-fight minimum with Top Rank. Is that not getting it out of the mud? Like, what is he talking about? What does he mean when he's manufacturing? I like Regis, but I don't think this is the appropriate approach right here. It'll be interesting to see what they say to each other, because I personally feel that the fireworks are going to fly today at the press conference. So that'll be interesting to see, Jay. But what are your thoughts on this? I mean, it's we thought about addressing it on Sunday. We didn't. And some things came up yesterday and we didn't get the opportunity to address it yesterday. So we're going to address it today. What's your thoughts on Regis Prograis and these claims relative to Devin Haney?
I mean, I think for him, talking about getting out of the mud, talking about as far as life struggles, not necessarily in the ring aspect. So I get that part of it, but that doesn't mean he's less hungry or anything like that.
How does he? Did he grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth? Was his daddy rich? I don't think so.
That's what Regis is saying, because his daddy had money or whatever. I'm like, I don't know the full background on Regis' upbringing to that degree. From what I do know, I know it wasn't the same as far as some of the stuff that Regis had to go through. But again, Devin has shown hunger to do what he did to get to where he's at right now. He showed mad hunger to do some shit and bet on himself that others wouldn't do. No one else was going to go over there, like you said, Australia twice and take peanuts, basically, what he should have gotten for that fight and fight Loma. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me for him to say that he doesn't have he's not hungry or anything like that. And I'm with you. I don't like discrediting your opponent like that, because once you fight them, you struggle with them or you lose. That makes you look bad. Or if you do beat them real bad, that still discredits your win. Fact. All you can do is just simply say is like, look, I'm gonna beat your ass, Greg. You ain't on my level. Yeah, you're the second best fighter in the world right now, but I'm the best. I'm gonna prove it. Cool. You beat the second best fighter, and no one else can touch you. But you're making it seem like this guy shouldn't even be in the ring with you. Then why are you fighting him? Why are you fighting him? He's never been at 140. You're saying he's manufactured. He's this or that. I get it. Devin sometimes shows off almost like he's being like a character, but he's also what 23, 23, 24, going with the trends, showing the grilled up and stuff like that. And being. I mean, Devin's kind of funny to me. I look at him as a young kid, and I think that's how we should look at him. He's out there having fun. He's not acting like he doesn't seem to me like he's coming like he's thugging it or nothing like that.
Keep that same energy for Shakur and Keyshawn then.
What?
He's just a kid. Keep that same energy then.
What you mean keep that same energy?
Well, you don't like them for the same thing that you're saying that you like Devin for. So I'm saying keep that same energy for them. That's all I'm saying.
That's not the same as for Shakur and Keyshawn.
Okay.
That's a reach, bro.
I don't think that's a reach at all.
I don't mind about Devin's fact that he's about the grills and shit like that. That's funny to me. He's not Devin going on Twitter and crying about fighting this guy, fighting that guy.
He does a lot of the same stuff. He does a lot of the same social media type behaviors and same thing that Keyshawn and what they do. He do a lot of the same stuff, bro. That's what I'm saying. I would just be careful with that.
And whatever, man. Those two still know the hell I mean about Devin. But Devin, to me, it's funny a little bit on that aspect there. But we'll see here. I mean, that promo they did, it was actually firing me. I laughed at it more than anything else because it's hard to really take that too serious. Coming from Devin, talking about Regis, I'm coming for you. Like he's a boogeyman or something like that. Like he's actually going to knock him out or something like that when we haven't seen Devin display that type of power. When Regis seems to have more of the power. But as far as him being manufactured, it's hard to say that because Devin really hasn't been – he's been a free agent. He's been on multiple platforms. So who's manufacturing him? He's saying his daddy's doing it. What? I'm like, I don't get down with that. But to your point, I don't get down with discrediting your opponent to that degree. It's going to discredit your win.
I know why he's saying that his daddy's doing it. So there's been rumors out there for years that Bill Haney is paying a lot of these different outlets to paint Devin in a favorable light. So that's probably what he means when he says that his dad is doing it. And maybe that's part of why he's saying he's manufactured. But at the same time, still, I don't care. Listen, I want to get the appropriate credit for my wins. And we know that sometimes people get wins that are really good wins, but they don't get the level of credit because of the opponent, because of whatever narrative is out there. And then the reverse also happens, right? Where someone gets a win that is perceived to be extremely big, but in reality, the win wasn't really that great. And it's just a narrative that's out there. So in my personal opinion, I would rather be the latter than the former, right? In that particular situation. So why would you set yourself up and put yourself in a position where people can discredit your win? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
None whatsoever. I'm not going to do that. It's one thing to promote the fight. There's other ways of promoting this fight too.
I agree.
Not going that route. I see multiple angles to promote this fight. So we'll see. But I mean, I will say this: that the press conference today at 2 p.m. I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be all gentlemanly like the other fights we've seen thus far. I think this one's going to be. It's going to be some fire, some stuff that we really want. Not nothing too crazy over the top, but something we need. To get ready for this fight. I think that's what's needed.
I agree. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to these comments from Regis Prograis and Rolly Romero in regards to Devin Haney. Personally, I don't care, but because it doesn't affect anything that's going to happen on December 9th. But it is what it is, and I guess it's banter and an opportunity to talk, and so it is what it is. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.